Hi friends, welcome to another furniture flip. In this video, we are going to take these French Provincial, a little bit on the larger side nightstands and give them a fun makeover. They are actually a pair that I custom sourced for a client that is all the way in Arizona, and we're going to paint them to match a dresser that she already has. So this will be a flip that's a little bit different for me because we're going to use a chalk paint, and we're going to put some transfers and do some other fun things. The first step is to remove the hardware. This is a French Provincial set, and in general, mostly for French Provincial pieces, I do keep the original hardware. It gives it the character that it needs. For other pieces, I usually change the hardware, but for this, we're going to keep it. So we're going to take it off and put it aside because we're going to give it a sweet little makeover using some gilding wax. And you know that this wouldn't be one of my furniture flips without me creating extra work for myself. I decided to remove these appliques because this is where I thought that I would be putting the transfers, and I like to keep them aside because you never know when you can use and reuse something like this. I also have them available in the shop if someone's looking for an accent piece or something like that. And after removing all of the appliques, it was time to clean, and for this I'm using the Green Ease paint cleaner. This is a great product. It's going to scrub all of those oils and shine away from the nightstands and get them ready for paint. You always want to start by cleaning your piece thoroughly in order to remove all of that dirt and oil and give the paint a good clean surface to adhere to. If you're in the market for any of the paint and products that I'm using in this video, you can definitely find them on our website, Dove+Arrow.com. We ship to Canada and the US, and I've also included a little coupon code that you can use towards your first purchase in the description to give you a little more incentive to do a little shopping. So after all of that destruction and the cleaning, it was time to do some repair work and fix up everything that I had done. So I'm just using a little bit of wood filler to even out the surface before I give the nightstands a good sanding. This is a perfect example of what happens if you don't use your dust extraction or vacuum or anything. Just create another big mess. But that's kind of the charm of furniture flipping. You never know what you're going to do and what kind of mess you're going to create. I gave the rest of the nightstands a good sanding as well, and I was kind of looking at the repair that I made, and knowing that I'm painting with a very light color, I decided to give the area where I removed the appliques a quick spray of shellac just to seal in those tenons there and not let anything seep through the paint. I wanted a nice even surface to paint on. The joy of painting nightstands is that basically you are painting two pieces of furniture, not just one, and every single drawer and every single little bit of sanding and cleaning was ×2. And while you're watching this, if you have learned a little something, if you do like this content and want to see more, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. Also the like button helps a lot to help this little channel grow And if you know someone that may be interested in this type of content, I'd love it if you share the video with them. And now, after all of that prep work, it was finally time to paint. For the set of nightstands, we are using Annie Sloan in the color Original. This is a beautiful chalk paint that we carry in store and online. It is great for the type of finish that I'm trying to achieve here. My customer wants a nice, aged, gilded surface, and in order to do that, Annie Sloan is kind of the perfect product for that, because it would allow itself to be distressed and then waxed, and you will see later in the video as we start playing with those waxes. But this is kind of the best part about Annie Sloan too, is that you can just paint. You can paint and get it nice and textured and paint in almost any direction and just enjoy the process. In order to help me glide the paint a little bit easier, I'm using a mister bottle and just applying a little bit of water. I found that that really helped the paint glide. Now, your first coat is always going to be a little bit scary, but that's okay. I applied a total of 3 coats on everything of Annie Sloan. They are dark nightstands, and I wanted a nice opaque finish. Now, switching kind of from an all-in-one to Annie Sloan, I did find myself trying to get it as smooth as possible, but what I kept forgetting is that once the paint dries and you take a little bit of sandpaper to it, you can get it as smooth as you want. Because it doesn't have that built-in top coat, you can really give it a good sanding and you can get a really nice smooth finish with this chalk paint. So usually in most of my flips, this is kind of where it would end. I would apply a top coat, maybe change out the knobs, and that's it. But for these nightstands, the work is just beginning. So the next step was to apply a transfer. My customer sent me a picture of the dresser she wanted me to match, and this was the exact transfer that the original dresser had on it, and that's Botanical Paradise by Redesign by Prima. We do have this transfer on our website. It's quite popular actually. So I did the first drawer, as you can see over there, matching the design as closely as possible to the original dresser, and then I copied the design on the second nightstand to make them match. I did use a total of 2 transfers in order to get the exact same flower patterns on both, but the transfers are super easy to use. I particularly like these mini transfers from Redesign by Prima because they give you quite a few different designs. Here I'm using a good selection of them, but realistically you can just use a couple on the project, even not just a dresser, on some decor items as well, and kind of get quite a bit out of these smaller transfers, which are a great price point. So what I did was I simply cut out each flower, and then using the applicator rub-on tool, I just rubbed them on there. So the transfer comes with a white sheet in the back and a clear sheet where the transfer is on. Just be careful that the transfer is very sticky, so it's kind of where you put it, that's where it will stay. So you don't want to get it to stick to itself actually. And you just rub it on and then burnish it with the clear paper after, and that's it. I just played and it was quite enjoyable. I have forgotten how much I enjoy playing with transfers and layering. I don't get to do that very often with the type of finishes that I usually do. Most of my furniture is a lot more modern, and this was a fun set to create. If you're interested in following in real time what's going on in the shop and all of the different DIYs and projects and sales and things that we have going on, hop on over to Instagram at Dove+Arrow. We post almost daily, and there's a lot of updates, and I do a lot of different polls and things like that to get people's opinions and create using that. So hop on over there, and I'd love to see you and kind of interact in real time. I'm embarrassed to say that this was, I think, one of the first times that I've used gilding wax, and guys, I fell absolutely in love with this gilding wax. It's so easy to just transform almost anything into a nice aged gold surface. I just applied it onto these handles. They were really well cleaned, so I wanted to remove any extra oils. But this is an oil-based product that hardens, and you don't need to put anything over it. You can apply it with the brush. Here I'm applying it with my finger, and I wanted a nice solid finish for these handles. But since then I've applied this gilding stuff on so much, and it always just gives such a beautiful, nice, soft gold color to absolutely everything. And this is a great bestseller that we have on our website as well, and I can't wait to use it more. So here's what the handles look like with the transfer. And we were not done yet, guys, because there's more that had to be done to these nightstands. So my customer really wanted a nice aged finish, and to achieve that I am going to use 2 more products. Actually, yeah, 2 more products plus the gilding wax again. So the first thing I did was seal the nightstands with the clear wax by Annie Sloan. This is a great wax, guys. I absolutely love it. It's kind of the only wax that I found that after just a day you can run your finger across the surface and it's squeaky hard. So that's really important. It's a really nice hard surface. Here I am applying it with a shop rag. I really should have used a wax brush to make my life easier. I just had a shop rag in hand and not a wax brush around, so that's why I used it. And then while the wax was still wet, the clear wax, I applied the aging wax. So you want to use the clear and aging wax in tandem so that it will help one, move the aging wax around. But if you apply that brown aging wax directly onto the white surface, it will stain the paint. It won't move around as well, and it kind of looks like a blob. So that's why you want to just apply the clear wax and then apply the aging wax on top in order to have some movement. And then you can even use the clear wax as an eraser. So here's a kind of fun. You can apply as little or as much as you want and build up that aging effect. And finally, the last step to these nightstands was to take the gilding wax again and just apply it to the nooks and crannies in order to give it that little bit of shimmer and that little bit of gold. It's hard to capture that on camera. It kind of still looks like the aging wax, but the gilding wax gave it a nice little shine right over the aging wax. And I did the same thing to all surfaces. of the nightstands, and I was a little bit gentler and more limited with the aging and gilding over the transfers, but the clear wax sealed up the transfers as well. It looked amazing. It was kind of hard to walk away from them. I kept wanting to play and add more and more. And so let's remember what we started out with. These were a fabulous set of nightstands, and this is what we ended up with. A really nice, fun, aged finish. So this set of nightstands actually made it safely from Ontario to Arizona. They were the biggest and heaviest packages I've ever mailed, but they made it. And let me know in the comments. I'd love to know your feedback. Is this type of finish something that you enjoy, or are you more of a one color modern finish, or do you like to blend and use transfers? Let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback.